Hey there. It's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Stop scrolling because there is a massive chicken recall for Listeria, and I'm going to show you where it's affected and what products are affected. And this is affecting a lot of stores: Walmart, Kroger, Publix, Albertsons, Meijer, Costco, Amazon Fresh, Aldi, H-E-B, Target, Trader Joe's, just to name a few. Now I'm going to move out of the way so you can take screenshots of these, because these are all some of the things that are affected. Now this also isn't a complete list, but it gives you an idea of some of the more popular things that are out there. I do need to make a small correction because it's not just chicken. It's apparently beef, pork, turkey, but chicken is the biggest culprit in this. It also includes all ready-to-eat meat and poultry items made in this facility between June 19th and October 8th, which culminates to almost 10 million pounds of beef, pork, turkey, and chicken. Now you can do your own search and type in chicken recall listeria and you will get all the information you need. This is just a big part of it, but this recall, guys, is absolutely massive. So send this to everybody that you know because odds are they have it in their freezer.
Now, you know my conspiracy brain is twisting this into that whole New World Order thing because that's 10 million pounds of meat. Another meat recall for Listeria. How interesting.
You can give the whole world a shot, but you still got people starving and nothing. Yeah, see, ain't nobody saying nothing. Oh, you got to take this shot. You better take it. It's to save your life, and it's free. We giving it free because it's to save everybody's life. If it's to save life, why ain't chemotherapy free? Why ain't insulin free? If it's to save everybody's life. So it's to save my life. But you got people dying of malnutrition. And we can't plant a garden over there, but we can send shots everywhere around the world. Somebody better open their eyes.
Thank you so much, Terry, for sharing that with us. Unfortunately, the fact of the matter is it's not actually free. Well, it's free for some people, and here's why. Because the American government is paying for those shots. Who pays the government? The American taxpayers. So I guess in a sense it is free for some people. And it would be nice if chemotherapy was free.
Breaking news. Kamala Harris scores a win in Georgia. Guess what just happened in the Peach State? Kamala Harris's campaign is throwing a party. A Georgia judge just blocked a controversial rule that would have forced officials to hand count ballots after machine tabulation. Talk about a win for democracy. The Harris campaign is calling out this rule as a sneaky way to delay results and spread doubt about the election. In a statement, they said, "Our democracy is stronger thanks to this decision. You can practically hear the sighs of relief all the way to Washington." Now, this rule was supposed to kick in on October 22nd, requiring officials to manually count ballots. Great idea, right? Except, oh wait, there was no training or funding for this chaos. Fulton County Judge Robert McBurney called it a recipe for disaster, saying it was a total mess waiting to happen. Democrats are rejoicing, arguing that the rule was designed to create confusion, especially since Georgia's last election was decided by less than 12,000 votes. On the flip side, Georgia Republicans are saying this rule was meant to boost confidence in the electoral process. But is that really what it was?
Randy, my friend over on Facebook, and I were talking about this yesterday, and he made a very good point. They don't have enough time to train them to do what? Count? And why do they need funding? They can get volunteers. I'm sure anybody would volunteer to do it. You have two separate groups. You have a count and a recount. No money. No time to train. They just need to count.
Breaking news, mainstream media outlet CBS is facing massive backlash after selectively editing out a response by the third most powerful guy in the country, House Speaker Mike Johnson, about Hurricane Helene.
That's a different accounting than this 2% you say was distributed.
Yeah, so they've obligated some funds, but they've only distributed 2%. The rescue and recovery effort's still going on, and then we address the rest of it.
So that's a different accounting than this 2% you say was distributed.
Yeah, so they've obligated some funds, but they've only distributed 2%. And when I was there on the ground, and you should go, I mean, bring the cameras and talk to the people there. They'll tell you, don't take politicians' words for this or the administration's word. Talk to the people there on the ground. They had not been provided the resources almost 2 weeks out from the storm that they desperately needed. And when I was there, 13 days post the storm hitting that state, people are still being rescued. They're stuck in the higher elevations in the mountains because the roads are down and all the rest. So they need every available resource and all hands on deck. The rescue and recovery effort's still going.
This isn't really that surprising. The mainstream media constantly cuts everything up to suit their own will because they control the information that you consume. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments down below and I will do my best to get it in an upcoming video. Also, while I got your attention, would you please hit that like button for me and consider subscribing? Then come back tomorrow because I'm making a new episode every day.
South Korean intelligence confirms that North Korea has entered the war, sending thousands of troops to fight for the Russian Federation in Ukraine. The National Intelligence Service tracked 1,500 North Korean special operators to Vladivostok from October 8th to October 13th. This comes on top of many other movements of troops across the North Korean to Russian border. North Korean soldiers deployed in Russia will be given Russian military uniforms, weapons, and forged documentation. North Korea has dispatched 12,000 troops and 4 brigades to the Russian Federation, and if this is confirmed, as it seems to continue to be, it would be North Korea's first major participation in a foreign war. North Korea has 1.2 million soldiers, but very little actual combat experience. This would provide the North Korean military, giving it the one thing it lacks, the experience of how to fight and win a war. Back in June, North Korea and the Russian Federation signed a security and partnership agreement. North Korea already supplies half of all the shells used by Russia in their war against Ukraine. War in Eastern Europe has given rise to a broad war in the Middle East that continues to expand out. We are a world in conflict, one that poses a grave security threat not just to neighboring countries like South Korea and Ukraine, but countries all around the world that will suffer because of the imperial aspirations of people like Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un. We also have to remember that this is not just a war against Ukraine and the Ukrainian people, but against Europe and the European way of life. This has always been stated quite openly by Vladimir Putin and those who stand with him. We have to understand that this escalation takes us towards a dangerous path, and we need to answer the moment, or else the lives lost in Ukraine will be for nothing.
Well, that is definitely concerning, and it certainly feels like it's just a matter of time before the United States throws their hat in, like officially, fully throws their hat in the ring.
Are you ready to uncover the government's biggest secret yet? Let's dive into the mystery of Immaculate Constellation. A reputable whistleblower claims the Pentagon has a secret program called Immaculate Constellation, dedicated to retrieving and analyzing UFOs from crash sites. This isn't just another conspiracy theory. This is a direct accusation of the executive branch operating without proper congressional oversight. The Department of Defense denies everything, but the whistleblower's detailed reports of UAP encounters tell a different story. Imagine stumbling upon top-secret information unintentionally, knowing it could change everything. That's the position our whistleblower finds themselves in, and they're understandably scared. The public is demanding answers and the truth behind Immaculate Constellation.
So wait just a second. Didn't we already have Operation Kona Blue that was supposedly proposed and then shut down? Did this Immaculate Constellation just kind of take its place because they have the same agenda?
Access program called Immaculate Constellation, which is the parent program, or exactly what you said, UAP, crash retrieval, reverse engineering, and apparently a very large database of high quality photographs, videos, infrared videos, apparently much more sophisticated documentation of many more UAP encounters than have been released. The allegation here by a new whistleblower, verified by other sources in a position to know, is that the Pentagon the Defense Department has withheld, kept secret this information from Congress, which is a violation of the Constitution and illegal. So I think that what we're looking at here is really a story about the abuse of power, including in potential disinformation from the Pentagon.
Really? Is this a surprising thing? There's all kinds of shadow government stuff going on, all kinds of different programs and operations happening without us knowing. That's where all of that extra money goes to when we spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a $10 bag of bushings.
Do you believe
that a higher form of non-human intelligence has visited this planet.
Right. So non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
And so, Carl, that is quite a bold statement. I'm wondering, and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
Oh, yes, zero doubt whatsoever.
Laughing at crazy conspiracy theories is good fun, until they turn out to be true. Take the conspiracy surrounding the Project Sunshine, for example. In the wake of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the U.S. government commenced a major study to measure the effects of nuclear fallout on the human body. The conspiracy was that the government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing. The truth? The government was stealing parts of dead bodies. Because they needed young tissue, they recruited a worldwide network of agents to find recently deceased babies and children and then take samples and even limbs, each collected without notification or permission of more than 1,500 grieving families. It's your history, as strange as it may be. Learn it, know it, love it.
That's right, U.S. government for you. Learn it, know it. You don't have to love it, though. But it did happen.
Project Cirrus is the first official attempt to modify a hurricane. It was run by General Electric with the support of the U.S. military. The official theory was that by changing the temperature outside the eye wall of a hurricane, which they did by seeding the clouds with various compounds such as silver iodide, a decrease in strong winds will result. On October 13, 1947, Project Cirrus targeted a hurricane heading out to sea. Approximately 180 pounds of dry ice was dropped into the clouds. The crew then reported a pronounced modification of the cloud deck, and the hurricane abruptly changed direction and made landfall near Savannah, Georgia. The public blamed the government. Irving Langmuir, who pioneered General Electric's atmospheric research department and admitted that the project was about learning how to weaponize the weather, also claimed the reversal of the hurricane had been caused by Project Cirrus. But the government denied it for 12 years.
You don't say. The government denied it for 12 years? The government doesn't lie to us. Oh, that reminds me, I wanted to check on Invest 94L and see what it's doing out there in the ocean since they ran their little mission yesterday. I'll have to bring that to you tomorrow.
Distinguished leaders, Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, and Mr. Putin, I am addressing you openly and publicly and not behind the scene, nor am I requesting a personal meeting with either of you. There is simply no more time for such courtesies. The situation is dire. This is a matter of supernatural security and a matter which in all respects affects every country and every individual citizen. This is an issue which resides exclusively in your collective hands, just the three of you. I acknowledge that to grasp the full gravity of my expressed concerns, one should first possess a comprehensive physical science background, domains not typically required of or by world leaders. Accordingly, the insight I possess should warrant your immediate attention. Thus, I am relying on the three of you gentlemen, as leaders gifted with the unique political wisdom, strategic thinking, foresight, and extensive managerial experience to act upon this extremely urgent matter. In this pivotal moment for our entire civilization, your political determination is the instrument for the survival of all humanity. In furtherance of confronting this colossal challenge to humanity and to safeguard our future and the future of our descendants, it is necessary to take decisive, concrete action, actions which fall squarely in the purview of your authority. Front and center, it is necessary to establish a unified international scientific center to bring together the finest scientific minds from around the world to address the issue of climate collapse. For effective operation, this center must be equipped with access to all necessary equipment, satellites, observatories, and research stations across the entire globe. It is crucial to emphasize that such an endeavor will demand extraordinary, unlimited funding, as solving a task of this magnitude will require the dedicated commitments from all laboratories, research centers, colliders, and the like that exist today. We will need to continuously collect and analyze data from practically every corner of the Earth, from all its layers, ranging from the core to its near space environment. Only through such means can we establish control over the processes currently driving us toward destruction and terminate them. Secondly, it is imperative that we immediately cease all wars, military conflicts, disagreements, and geopolitical disputes. It is crucial to halt the destruction and fragmentation of the world. We all face a common enemy today that threatens all countries, the climate. We need to consolidate our resources.
I'm sure many of you have realized it, but that guy, he's not real. That is an AI. And there's hours and hours of him just talking about crazy things going on in the world and trying to pull world leaders in. And people are like believing that this Egon Chalakian guy is real, but he's not. I had to do some searching and digging and find out who he is and what he's got going on. And dude, it's not real. He doesn't exist.
We are living in a villain's world, and they designed it perfectly. We eat the food they give us, vote for one of two people that they tell us to, and watch the movies that they show. They take our attention as soon as we reach age 5, and they never give it back. We go to school for 8 hours a day learning what they want us to. They scold us until we obey, and then they praise us when we do. They make us form a habit of waking up and spending our entire day in a building that we wouldn't choose, so that when we get older, we are willing to do the same. Following orders becomes comfortable when we spend our childhood doing what we're told, so when we're older, we hesitate to stray outside the norm. They tell us that we should do anything we can to attend a university, because if we don't, we will fail. They manipulate us into financial dependency at a young age so that we stay liable to the system. They've given us a currency that only has value because they say it does, and we receive it by working at a business that they own. Their millions become billions while the rest of us are forced to sacrifice our time for a minuscule fraction of what our work gains for them. They provide us housing, but make it costly so that we struggle to accumulate enough wealth to escape their system. Our supermarkets are full of brands that they possess, to the point that it is difficult to find ones that they don't. Our meals are either purchased from a store that they most likely own, or created with ingredients from their brands. They tamper with the food they give us and pump them with toxic and addictive chemicals. They make the most harmful foods the cheapest and most convenient so that it becomes an offer that we can't refuse. Over time, we become addicted in many more ways than one, and they bombard us with temptation on every billboard or commercial. When we get sick from excessive consumption of this insubstantial food, we are forced with almost no other option but to give up financial solidity for the sake of our health. We pay thousands to facilities that they own so that they can prescribe us more harmful chemicals that simply numb the symptoms. They revolve society around addictive foods that cause disease and expensive drugs that mask them, so that we stay in a forever grasp of their system. We only ever consume content that they provide. Our news channels are operated by them to persuade us into two opposing perspectives, so that we never share a same opinion. Why do you think it's free? They feed us shocking news headlines that provoke emotion and grab our attention away from what's really going on in the world. They've granted us with superficial idols that portray luxurious lifestyles so that we strive to be like them and associate money with happiness. They keep us focused on worldly problems that they've created to keep us zoomed in on our physical reality and detached from our Creator. If we keep our attention on what's going on around us, we will never be present and see the truth of God within us. The villain who runs the world knows the truth of our potential, and it's in their best interest to keep us distracted and willing to submit to a system that thrives on fearful compliance.
In a nutshell, that is our society. We are trained to benefit the government, and that is it. And if we could just band together instead of dividing ourselves, maybe one day we can turn that around. We can make the government benefit its people like it was intended to do. I'm going to cut it short today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Please come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.